STAKK Nation, Crypto Warriors. Top of the morning to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, obviously, as we know, the Bitcoin and crypto space is rife with all sorts of opinions. But that's fine. That's why we're here. Because we bring you the juice. The official details on what's really going down. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some details behind Bitcoin's imminent rise. We'll come through with some supporting details from on-chain data like short-term holder behavior or hodler behavior, if you will, and some takes from other analysts, even though most of them are anonymous. Not sure why they choose to be anonymous. And of course, we're going to be wrapping it up with some behaviors from a specific institution which confirms Bitcoin's imminent rise. In case you do not notice, if you saw what I did there, I started with Bitcoin's imminent rise and I ended with Bitcoin's imminent rise. My skills are rising. Double up.
Champion.
Yes, sir. What are we looking at today? Are we going to do some TA?
Another one, bro. Another one. We are back in the house. Happy Monday, y'all. Every Monday we'll bring this chat to you. You know, try to see what's going on. You know, technical analysis, and try to make sense of what's really going on. Because Fibonacci levels and all those interesting conversations. Right. The last time we were on the show, let me run through this real quick. Last time we were on the show, we saw this head and shoulder, and we said it was going to go up, and that was going to face resistance at this level, and of course it did face that resistance. It put back down, and now we see the RSI crossing upwards, the 8-day moving average crossing the 20 and 34-day moving average. This is on the daily chart, by the way, and interestingly enough, the 1 fib is at the bottom, pointing upwards to 0. Question is, are we going to go make it back to 22,000? Are we going to get stopped at 19,400? Are we going to get stopped at 19,900? Are we even going to make it to 20,000 this time around? So, we got to go check out what's going on with the macros, macroeconomics, because as we all know, the big whales are in the space now. So it's no longer TA and the small guys trading. We have algorithms to compete against, and the big money movers, the whales, to compete against. So this cross, is it going to happen? We don't know that, but we can check this out though. Absolutely. Look at that. Look at that on the 37-day moving, 37 versus 100 moving average. We're still a little bit far away from the action, but the trend is coming up, man. It's looking like it's about to happen. It looks like a descending triangle, by the way. If you want to draw a line right here, draw that line right there. Staying on the line, but it's green candle, red candle going into it, so it could possibly go down this way or go up. Either direction is possible. Absolutely. That's what I got for you on the TA side.
I think we've been ranging, if you will, in this 19k to about 20 to 21k range for a while, and I think it's probably going to stay this way for a little bit until there's like a major reason for it to break out. Yeah. Of course, we know that correlation as well, which we've been seeing with the S&P. I think that's one of the things that I really do not like. I do not like that Bitcoin is literally behaving sort of the same way that the S&P is. But it is what it is. Now, we do see that obviously there are other people who look at this and they have a similar sentiment to what we do. So we can see this one here is from Bitcoiners. And it talks about a Bitcoin rally is imminent, according to analysts who predicted the 2022 crypto crash. Now, I think obviously, if you look at your TA, you can kind of see, even going back to 2022, that crash is, I have a difficult time calling it a crash, because at the same time, we know that this is really the patterns of Bitcoin. If we go all the way back to, I don't know, like go as far back as you can, you see that Bitcoin has this pattern of rising and pulling back 80%. So I guess you could say it crashes 80%. But looking at that, do you think this is what they used to predict this 2022 crash to speak of?
Well, we also did our TA analysis when they were predicting whatever they were predicting, and at the time, a lot of people were predicting $1 million Bitcoin, and we
Right.
said this wasn't looking like it. Without even looking at the 4-year quads of Bitcoin. So over there, I would likely just say, if you're a Bitcoin investor, not financial advice, it does have trends. Everything. It's a psychological line. We
Right.
thought 20K was that psychological line that we're not supposed to break, but we broke it down to 19K. But I think there's a lot of macros going on right now that is adding to the current crash that was not there in those early days.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Now, of course, in this article here, because this guy he seems to do a lot of TA, right? And according to CryptoQuant itself as well, Bitcoin market measures, market measures indicate a market bottom, which could indicate that Capo. So Capo is the person who made this prognosis, if you will, that he was correct. Now, at the end of the day, it seems that this rally that they speak of in this article is just a rally to about 21K. So my question to everyone watching and to you, Double O, as well, would you consider a run from here to 21K the rally that we all expect?
Yeah, so my concern with that statement was that we held 29K for a while. I accumulated a lot of Bitcoin at that price until what eventually happened with the old Russia-Ukraine matter. And then we had a dump. So again, we have those resistance level up there showing a possible alt. I think at this point we're so pegged to the SPY in a way that whatever happened to the SPY, maybe if the Fed reserves throwing interest rates at the markets, then we can have a rally. And 21K is not going to stop Bitcoin. We could see 40K. We're going to go back to 29K at least. So
This
19K
year?
is not a.
This year or next year?
If the Feds, which we're about to be in November,
Right.
in a minute's time, if they say, "Oh, okay, we're going to slow down on interest rates," man, Bitcoin will just say, "Hey, we are back." It could take a day
Yeah.
for Bitcoin to get back to 30K. That easy.
Yeah, I don't think. Now, here's the other thing, because the flip side of this as well, right, is that there is this other group of people who think Bitcoin
Yeah.
is definitely going to somewhere between, is it like 3K or 16?
30,500, 60K,
Yeah,
12K.
ranging to 16K. It's a wide range, okay? And I've said this a couple times. I don't think that for you to drive Bitcoin down to a certain price, you would have to get to a point where you find people and force them to sell their Bitcoins from their ledger. Because if they're not selling it, you just can't drop the price. So that is something that we must consider, right?
Yeah, and the funny thing is that the data on the Bitcoin node is showing that the retail investors are holding back the
Yeah,
whales.
absolutely. Yeah, so this is, I think it's this was some Crypto Quant, which is an on-chain data analysis application, if you will. And it shows that Bitcoin short-term holders, right, the behavior continues to show that people who are holding Bitcoin short-term, well, not short-term, but like especially like the newcomers and the people who have
newbies.
smaller wallets, right?
We are not too late to the market.
Hey, you can see that there is a trend of the smaller, I guess the retail investors, right, if
Yeah.
you will, holding onto their Bitcoins much longer, not selling it into a loss. And this is making a difference because if everyone else is holding onto their Bitcoins, which just proves this adoption that is coming to Bitcoin, then it makes it difficult for the price to keep falling, right? So I think Glassnode is a great resource for this, and I think CryptoQuant
Yes.
as well, for those who are
Yes.
interested in looking
Yes.
at more on-chain data. You will see that as the price of Bitcoin has been falling, right, the supply held by, first of all, big entities has been rising. The supply held by medium entities, so this would be people who have about, maybe 10 to 100 Bitcoin has been increasing.
Yep.
And of course, those who are holding under that, which is going to be like 0.01 Bitcoin all the way up to about 10 Bitcoins,
Yep.
has also been increasing. So I would take this as I'll take this correlation and add it to the board of adoption growth. What do you think?
Yeah. That's assumption growth. So the technology, in terms of the technology, is growing. The adoption, in terms of even public utilization for making purchases, is growing
Right.
at a very fast pace. But of course, we have that group of traders or people that
Mm.
just are in it for the money, and it goes down to make money, it goes up to make money. You're just trading the algorithms or trading the charts,
Yeah.
and that's one thing. And if you are out there saying, "Oh, the price keeps going down," of course, folks are trading it. Which is, by the way, big ups to the folks getting their bitcoins off the exchange. There's also trends that's showing that people are starting to do a lot more of that. That would eventually stop at some point. And going back to the 4 year stuff that you mentioned at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of this show, um, that is also the major thing. The demand is going to be there. The
Yeah.
banks are buying it like no man's business. So why are you looking at the price? Why are you not looking at the adoption of the technology itself?
Absolutely. Now, speaking of banks, which, by the way, before we jump into banks here, uh, I do notice that we are our title on the Gentleman of Crypto channel is incorrect. So we got to work on correcting that. So
Oh,
yes, but we do have Jay who left a comment. He says 100%. Good morning to you, sir. 100% to
Jay.
you as well, right?
sir.
So speaking of the banks, right? I want to talk about Fidelity, right? What was it? Maybe last year. Was it last year or earlier this year? Fidelity released a paper, and in that paper, they referred to
Yeah.
Bitcoin as superior money.
Last year. Yes.
Yes,
I think we
right.
did a show on that. We
We
went
did
through
it.
the
We
whole
did.
thing.
Yeah, we definitely did a show on that. Broke down everything that they had in that paper.
Yeah.
They maybe had like one or two things wrong, but I
Mm-hmm.
have to say I am surprised, shocked, confused, and somehow excited that Fidelity is kind of like really taking on Bitcoin in this way, right? Now they have released another paper, right? Let's see if I can pull that up here. Where's my? There we go. How about that? How about
Oh, snap.
that? All right.
The world's in the house.
Fidelity in the house. Fidelity to beef up crypto unit by another 25%, right? With 100 new hires. These guys have been absolutely on it, right? Seem to be really jumping into the Bitcoin environment. Now, of course, we're going to be doing another show because they released another paper where they are referring to Bitcoin as insurance for your portfolio. Absolutely interesting stuff there.
Since
can
when
always
did
read.
Bitcoin start becoming insurance
Dude,
material?
I have no.
I thought it was high risk, bro.
Hey, dude, I think it just speaks to the truth that Bitcoin is. You know, you can ignore it, say whatever you want about it, but the fact of the matter is you cannot argue with the code, right? Because it keeps running. Now, the other thing here is how much they are hiring in this space. You can see Fidelity to beef up crypto unit by another 25% with 100 new hires. And you know, I did browse their website for a bit to see the opportunities. It is there. Now, this is also coming at a time when we know people like Coinbase, Celsius, and all the other
Google, Facebook.
unregulated, no, not even those guys, other crypto entities are actually laying off people.
Yeah.
We know Coinbase has been laying off people as well as all many other
Hey,
Bitcoin-based.
the Federal Reserve wanted them to lay off people so that they can stop increasing interest rates. So they're listening to Papa Powell. You guys are killing me, man. You can't keep
Listen,
hiring
man.
people. I need to destroy the job market, and the real estate market to kind of prove my point.
Exactly. So, but I think that again, this is where Bitcoin comes in because no one specific person should have that much power to devalue everyone's currency at the drop of a hat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just absolutely asinine. And this is, I think, at the same time, I'm really wondering what is driving Fidelity here, because in some ways they are sounding like they don't even agree with the traditional fiat system. At least the person who is publishing these papers under Fidelity's name.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit in shock that is the case.
Well, you know what's funny? This whole weekend we read about what's going on with the banks. with all this the constant increases in interest rate, and that's how that is impacting the global markets, right? And then the fact that the money, the fiat money system, the reprinting of the dollar has become so excessive that the chickens will come home to roost eventually. Because guess what? You and I put, let's say you put $10,000 in the bank or $100,000 in the bank, right? The bank keeps $10,000 of that in the bank. They loan $90,000. And as a matter of fact, if it's $100,000 that they make available, they can loan up to $1,000,000, I believe, yes, of that money to somebody else. So by the time you repeat that cycle over and over and over again, if at the end of the channel, those people are not losing their jobs or they're losing their businesses, if you come back and you say you want your $100,000, then the money is no longer there because the folks that they've loaned the money to can no longer repay it. That becomes a big problem. So if the interest rates continue to hike and businesses have to start shutting down, people start losing their houses because the money you give them, they're giving it to somebody else. They're using it to take a loan. Now they can't pay the loan back. We're about to have another 2008 financial crash caused by the Feds. So at some point, the Feds are going to have to U-turn.
It seems like that whole situation we should describe there, it seems like a situation that can lead to, of course, lacking confidence in the banking system.
Exactly.
Right? And a capital flight situation as well.
There you
where
go.
People will run on the banks.
It happened in China. It's going on in China right now.
It's happening in China. So if we're finding ourselves in this tough situation, and especially if people start, and we've seen people making more and more videos online saying, hey, I went to pull some money from the bank and I will not be able to. So if that really sets off a panic and people go to pull out the money from the bank, it sounds like this idea of not being able to pull your money from the bank is not so far-fetched anymore in America.
Yeah, and I think that could be the catalyst that could cause the Bitcoin pump. I'm not saying it will, but that could be the catalyst because I'm kind of trying to see what happened with COVID.
Yeah.
Where everything was just crashing, and at some point, investors were just like, nope, we need another way of making money. And the market started pumping, even though we were in the middle of COVID. Right. Same thing is what I'm saying here with this whole global macro situation. People are just going to get fed up eventually. And some big banks, some investors are just going to say, let's team up together and pump the market back up. They've done it before. They can do it again.
Well. Double up. Let's read some couple comments here before we wrap it up. I know we're pretty much run up on our time. This went by so fast, man.
I know, we need more time.
This is how I feel like when I go cycling these days. My cardio has been coming up. I feel like a full-blown athlete again, you know? Anyway, Topcast dropped a comment. He said, good morning, fellas. He was late, had to rewind. Hey, appreciate it, champion. It's really incredible to us. We're happy that you are watching. We have 10 people watching right now, man. This is beautiful. 11, as I was saying that. Maybe I should click on my browser as well to make it 12. Incredible.
Don't be that butt on Twitter, man. Don't be that Twitter butt.
Hey, listen, man. I am an African Twitter bot. Have you seen one of those before? All right, man. Let's get out of here, man. Time to head to work. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Thanks to the gentlemen of crypto for the opportunity again, letting us do our show on their channel. You guys are true champions. I absolutely love it.
1,000 show. They had the 1,000 show on Friday.
Yeah, I saw you
the longest show on the web about crypto. The gentlemen of crypto. If you've not liked and subscribed, boom, do it now.
Yes,
on the gentlemen of crypto and on the STAKK channel. That's what we do.
Come
back next Monday. We're always here for y'all.
Yes, sir. Well, until next time, Brazen out.
Double O.